going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Haley Cairo. If you guys are new, if you're a returning subscriber, I'm so glad you guys are back for another video. Today, we're going to be talking all about anxiety and relaxation, and I'm going to share with you guys a couple tips and tricks that I use to help me just come down off of either a panic attack or when I'm feeling super anxious or just need to take a minute to myself. This is what I do. Before we get started, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button and turned on notifications. Also, follow along on my Instagram account where I post health and wellness tips, tricks, recipes, and workouts. If you guys like this type of content, I would love it if you gave this video a thumbs up so that way I know what kind of videos you guys want to see. So the first thing that I do when I start to feel anxious is realize that I'm feeling anxious, which took me a long time to be that self-aware. But after having clinical anxiety for years, it kind of becomes like a second nature thing for me. I'll think about why I'm feeling anxious, and then in my mind or on a piece of paper, sometimes I do write this down. I'll write down what I'm feeling and why I'm feeling that way, and if it's immediately dangerous to me or just kind of something that in my mind that I'm worried about. And half the time, or like 100% of the time, it's something that is really out of my control and something that's way down the road that I don't even need to be thinking. Speaking of writing, journaling has really helped me. I like to start my day with that, with the morning pages. It helps me to just brain dump everything, get any emotions down. I actually did this, and I don't think Kyle will mind that I'm sharing this, but we were having I was having some anxiety about some things that were bothering me, and I wrote them all down that morning. And then when Kyle woke up, I was confident and comfortable to go to him and discuss these things because I'd already kind of played it out on paper, and it just made me have so much more peace about the situation, and he was so understanding, which leads me into another tip, which is sharing and talking to someone. Sometimes when you're in your own mind, you can make this thing out to be so much worse than it really is. And I have a couple people that I go to for accountability. Number one, I pray. Whenever I share how I'm feeling with God, I just feel an immediate sense of peace because I know He's gonna be in charge of my life no matter what. His will is going to happen. I really shouldn't be worried. Number two, I'll go to my mom, my brother, or Kyle. Sometimes my dad, but he's just as anxious as I am, so sometimes it doesn't work. They're all really great listeners, and it just feels better to get things off of my chest because they also can give you another perspective. Then I have my 5-minute breathing, and that is something that my mom taught me. So if I'm feeling anxious, no matter what I'm doing, how busy I am, I will take 5 minutes. Sometimes if I'm out in public, I'll do it. I'll sit in my car and I just close my eyes and I breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth hard. It's called a lion's breath. My mom does it and she literally yells. Not really like that, but do you? The breath work, getting the oxygen through your bloodstream, not through your bloodstream, you would die. But getting the oxygen through you is a really good way to just lower the heart rate, get things kind of to feel more calm inside, so that way you can start to have some peace mentally. Another quick little relaxation tip is using a weighted blanket. And this was something that I was introduced to maybe 2 years ago, and I love my weighted blanket. In fact, the first one that I have is currently with my parents because they love it now too. So I have a new one, and it is from Y&M. Comes in this awesome carrying case, which is super nice because if you do want to fold these things up, they're pretty big, and the fact that you can kind of compartmentalize it like this is awesome. I just love this. It's so soft. Ugh, so good. Now this one is 20 something pounds. I love it. So what I'll do is I'll sit on the couch, lay down, cover myself up with this, and do the same breath work. And it feels like a hug. It feels, the compression is just so calming. I don't know exactly why it does feel this way. It's amazing. It's something you need to try out for yourself if you've never tried a weighted blanket. What I love about this too is you would think a weighted blanket would make you feel really hot, but the fabric that they use and the material that's inside, the beads, they're really cooling. This blanket right now feels cold to me, which I love because I don't like the feeling of claustrophobia, and that's not what this is at all. It's cooling and just the perfect amount of weight on you. Again, you have to try it for yourself. So I'll leave a link down in the description box for where you guys can get your own weighted blanket, but this one is amazing. And you can buy covers and stuff for them, but I like this because it's cold. So the last and final tip to help myself relax is usually Even if it's for a few minutes, I do something that like brings me joy. So that could be going on Pinterest, that could be making a cup of coffee, or having like my favorite little snack, something that just like is an instant gratification thing where I can just be like, okay, the world's not ending, everything's all right. And it just kind of like gets me going again, and then I can go back to whatever it is I was doing. I also posted a video not too long ago all about how I cured my insomnia. Ooh, the lighting just changed drastically. I recently posted a video about how I cured my insomnia the holistic way. If you guys are interested in that, it's all about anxiety and insomnia. So I will have that linked up here for you guys if you want to check that out. There's some other really great tips and tricks on how to have a healthy nighttime routine and sleep routine. So definitely check that out. Another thing I did was cut down on the caffeine. I used to be a 2 cups of coffee in the morning and an afternoon cup person. So I would have at least 3 cups of coffee a day, and then usually pre-workout. So that's a lot of caffeine. And now I'm down to 1 cup in the morning, no pre-workout. Occasionally I'll have an iced coffee after my workout if it's like a hot day or something. But for the most part, I'm like a one type of caffeine, 1 time per day person. So, and that's really helped me just not feel as anxious. My heart rate's been a lot better. So just little things like that that are triggering to anxiety, I've like really cut down on. In terms of also things that are triggering to you are also things that are gonna be really subjective. So for me, I used to get a lot of anxiety around social commitments, especially like work-related ones or like jobs that I really didn't want to do but felt obligated because I'm like always a people pleaser. So I started saying no, and that was like, why didn't I think of that before? That might sound like super easy, but for me it took me like 3 years to figure out that I had the ability to tell people no. So those are all of my tips and tricks on how to just cope with anxiety, find ways to relax in your everyday life, and manage stress much better. If you guys like this video, it would mean the world to me if you gave it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and follow along on social. And if you guys are interested in any of the tips and tricks, I have all the resources and information and products down below, including my favorite weighted blanket. But as always, I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you in the next video. Here comes the sun again. Bye.